Hi, my name is Stacey Giglio, and I am a student in the North Carolina State University MAT Elementary Education Program. And today I'd like to take us on a journey with Dave Burgess in Teach Like a Pirate. The professional development book that I chose is Teach Like a Pirate by Dave Burgess, a professional development speaker known for his unique delivery at seminars. He delivers seminars the way he teaches, creative and outrageous. He has been an educator for 21 years in the San Diego area, and his specialty is U.S. history. The central premise of Teach Like a Pirate is that no content standard is more important than creating a love of learning in your students. Burgess promotes the use of arts, music, drama. He will dress up in costume. He will do jumping jacks. He will flip. He will make a fool of himself. He will use any means necessary to keep his students' attention. I think his basic mantra is much of your success as an educator has to do with your attitudes towards teaching and towards your students. The rest is based on your willingness to relentlessly search for what engages students in the classroom and then have the guts to do it. The four main points for Teach Like a Pirate were increasing student engagement, boosting teacher creativity, transforming your life as an educator, and the mnemonic PIRATE. P for passion, I for immersion, R for rapport, A for ask and analyze, T for transformation, and E for enthusiasm. Increasing student engagement, teachers should be performers in their classrooms. You are the actor and your students are your audience. You need to do whatever, whenever to hold their attention. Create an impact with your students by setting up your lessons in creative and unexpected ways. Some ideas to help set up your stage that were mentioned in the book were to alter lighting, play music to fit the theme of the lesson, write something on the smartboard or overhead to get their attention, rearrange desks, wear a costume. Everything is a choice. Choose to make some element of your lesson an unanticipated surprise. Don't lose your students' engagement in your transitions. Even a few moments of diversion, like getting a piece of paper out of their desk to write down what you've just said, can cause you to lose them. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Have students take out their materials before you even start the lesson. Prep your video by already having the area you want to explore bookmark. Try to make transitions as smooth and seamless as possible. Mr. Burgess even covers the inevitable event, someone coming into the class with a pass or to take someone out of the class. You continue to present your material and interact with the person who has entered so that you maintain the engagement. You avoid the lesson coming to a screeching halt and all of the momentum you've gained being canceled out. Boosting creativity. Dave Burgess talks in the book about being creative in the classroom. Many of you are saying to yourselves, I'm just not the creative type. Burgess believes that everyone has the capacity to be creative, but they have to be willing to put in the work. Saying, I'm not creative is an excuse not to try. You have to commit and be open. We are receiving creative ideas every day and everywhere, but many times just don't recognize them or have the confidence to implement them. If we don't execute the ideas, we won't see the results we are hoping for. Fulfillment is everything. It's a little bit like the cartoon, I'm just a bill, I'm only a bill, sitting here on Capitol Hill. Without implementation, our creations never become law. They will always just be a bill. A simple technique for capturing your ideas is to constantly write them down. Don't wait until later. Write them down in the moment or they will leave you. Many times past students would come up to Burgess and say, do you remember when you did this in your class or you did that in your class? He didn't. He would think to himself, why don't I do that anymore? He stopped doing it because he hadn't written it down and then forgot how impactful the lesson was to his students. Jot down your ideas in your iPhone and a notebook. Keep the system for logging your ideas simple. This will enable you to catalog your ideas with ease. Burgess believes writing down your thoughts gives them validity. It sends a message to your brain that this idea is worth developing. A great message from the book that encourages us to take risks in our creativity is that the perfect school year does not exist. Use this as a pardon to push the edge and reach new heights. Be willing to step outside of what you know. Bring your passions into your classroom. If you are passionate about what you are teaching, your students will be passionate as well. Transforming your life as an educator. Write yourself a letter from a fictional student about the type of teacher you want to be and the inspiration you want to give your students. Burgess finds this letter writing exercise to be extremely helpful. It serves as an ideal goal that you can reach for. It allows you to construct a vision that you will want students to experience in your class. When you lose sight of your goals, go back and read this letter to readjust yourself and get back on target. Burgess asks two great questions in the book, and they are, if your students didn't have to be there, would you be teaching in an empty room? And do you have any lessons you could sell tickets for? In response to the first question, Burgess says that your students should love what you teach so much that they don't want to miss your class. And they can do this in extreme ways by forcing their parents to bring them back after doctor's appointments, rescheduling appointments, not going to the bathroom during your class period because they don't want to miss the information you are going to impart on them. Do they come back to you after graduating to participate in your class? These are signs that your class was engaging, creative, and inspiring. The response to the second question is that he doesn't have a lot of lessons that he could sell tickets for, but he does have some. And he doesn't expect teachers to have for every lesson to be something that someone's going to buy tickets for, but he wants you to find some of them that, yes, this is your optimal performance. He doesn't expect teachers to answer yes to both these questions, but he suggests that these questions be used to help teachers raise expectations of themselves. The fourth main topic throughout the book was the acronym PIRATE, P for passion. We are not going to be passionate about everything we are going to teach, and that's okay. But even if we aren't passionate about the topic, we are passionate about teaching. And Burgess talks about ways to inject personal passion into the areas you don't love. An example he cites is hiking one day with his son and bumping into another hiker who had this love of birds and who enthralled them for hours with all of the details he knew about birds. Now, Burgess didn't care about the birds. What he was enthralled by was this man's passion for the birds. And he wants us as teachers to take that same type of passion and put it into our educating of students. Then we have immersion, immersion. It's easy to do what was done before, give the lesson from the sidelines. It was safe, but the safe approach isn't the most effective. To truly engage students, you must be immersed in the moment. You want your class to say, when he taught me, he wasn't doing anything else. Students can feel when you are present. We have the R for rapport. Get to know your students and make sure students get to know each other in your class. If we give them a safe, fun environment, the stage for learning is set. You can't engage students unless you know what engages them. Burgess starts to build on that rapport the first day of class and continues to learn about them throughout the year. We have the A, ask and analyze. You can start the creative idea process by asking questions of your students. Make sure the ideas connect with your audience and constantly be open to analysis and feedback from students and colleagues. The T, transformation. If you feel you are consistently not getting through to your students, reframe your subject. Look at it from a new point of view. This fresh start will be good not only for your students, but for you as well. And the last, E for enthusiasm. This is the most powerful tool in our arsenal. Make sure your last class receives the same high energy lesson you provided your first class. Burgess says that by lighting yourself on fire with enthusiasm, you can become a beacon of bliss amidst a bastion of boredom and banality. Burgess comes up with some amazing teaching strategies and ideas in this book. There were two that were my favorite. The first is the kinesthetic hook. Basically, you're going to ask yourself questions in your lesson. How can I incorporate movement into this lesson? Can we throw something, roll something, or catch something inside or outside of class? Can we get up and act something out? What kind of simulation can we do that would allow them to reenact part of this lesson? Burgess basically says, it's okay to have fun. It's never a bad idea to inject some kinesthetic activity into your class, even if the primary goal is just to have some fun, because along the way, with that fun, they're going to be learning. And the second teaching strategy that I loved was the interior design hook. And these questions are more like, how can I transform my room to create the ultimate atmosphere for this lesson? Can I change the lighting for mood? Can I block out all light and just use accent lights to emphasize certain things? Can I cover or decorate the walls, the ceiling, the floor? Can I change the entrance so no one can see into my class? Controlling the physical space of his room is one of his secret weapons. He's the director, the producer, the stage manager, the lead actor, and all of those performances will take place in and around his room. It is his stage, and anything he can do to manipulate and control that environment is fair game. This is how he holds his students' engagement. I would like to conclude our journey with Teach Like a Pirate and Dave Burgess by saying that at the end of this book, I was inspired and excited to try some of the teaching ideas and strategies that he talked about in his book. He is the type of teacher I aspire to be. And there were two phrases in the book that really struck me. And the first was, "Do whatever you do intensely" by Robert Henry. I want to teach intensely. I want to reach my students intensely. This is something I want to keep in my life. It's a phrase I want to have. And then the second was, "Provide an uncommon experience for your students, and they will reward you with an uncommon effort and attitude" by Dave Burgess. This is what I want to leave you with. Let's strive to do this for our students. Let's reinvent ourselves. Let's continue to stand and deliver every time we get in front of our students. Thank you so much for your time.